Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Haley Alexis once again. How my views on Nazism have changed since living in Germany and why the US needs to shut up about it. You feel me? I feel like I don't know too many people here that talk about it, but that's just in my small little bubble. Like, I don't communicate with a lot of people, and so I know a lot of people have different experiences, but in Nazism, I mean, I know about Germany. I know about the Nazis. I know about the Holocaust, one of the most traumatic events, one of the most traumatic times in human history. But I guess I never learned the history of it, like, in detail. I would say that. So I'm intrigued to hear what she has to say. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. What we got, Haley? Another day, another rant about the USA.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, it's a very serious video. I'm gonna try my best to sprinkle in a little bit of Haley humor to the best of my abilities, you guys. But it is just a rant and a rave because I've been putting off this video for a while. I've been putting off a lot of things for a while, you guys, because I have just been taking time for myself to focus on myself and to focus on my mental stability when it comes to the world. Because
As you
every time I
should.
get on social media, I check my email, I get an email from someone, I get a message from someone, I get a comment from someone telling me I should talk about this or that sad, depressing thing that's happening in the world, and I just realized that it gets draining, especially when you're on the internet and you give your strong opinionated view on a topic. It can sometimes be very divisive, and so with this video, I know it's going to be the same, but like I said,
Nah, she's spitting facts, and it's like, yeah, when people want you, I can't imagine people wanting you to, like, talk about all these sad things that are going on in the world and all the horrible things that are going on in the world, and you're looking up these things to make videos about them. But when this is like what you're seeing most of the time, like that is draining. That does start to depress you because all you see is these sad, dark things in the world, and it's like nobody wants to live in that negative. You know what I'm saying? And so I can completely understand how that would be draining. But I'm sorry, Haley.
And so
keep it going.
This video, I know it's going to be the same, but like I said, I've been putting off and been very mild and neutral for a lot of topics lately, but this one just really bothers me. And I don't know how I'm going to title this video. It's going to be maybe why Americans are obsessed with the Holocaust, why the United States has so many Holocaust deniers, why we give certain people platforms, why we always have to pick and make fun of and glamorize World War II era. I'm just gonna be talking about a bunch of things, and the reason that I'm making this video, I should have made it maybe a week-ish plus ago, was that there have been a lot of prominent people in the news talking about Hitler, talking about World War II, talking about Germany, talking about Jews, talking about Nazis, everything. And it's very sad and heartbreaking for me to, like, read this stuff, see this stuff, witness this stuff. And so our former president, he invited, I think, Kanye West and another podcast person. I don't know how to.
That's all you had to say. That's literally all you. Our former president invited Kanye West. You could have stopped right there, and I could have known it was going to be bad news. It wasn't going to be good. I could have known wasn't nothing good gonna come out of that. We can stop the video right there because I already know they said some stupid stuff. I know they said some stupid stuff.
Kanye West and another podcast person, I don't know how to describe the person, to his house for dinner. And the person, one of the people that he invited, was a prominent Holocaust denier, and just some of the things that he has said, aside from being like an anti-Semite and a racist, homophobic, transphobic individual.
Oh my God.
He's just disgusting. And then to have Kanye West, who says that he agreed with Hitler, co-signed Hitler. It's just shocking for me that it's coming from a place that I call home. And I think
that's the Kanye. The man said slavery was a choice. Kanye don't anything Kanye. I don't know about this other guy. I've never heard of him, but Kanye, when he said that slavery was a choice, that was you gotta stop listening to Kanye at that point, because Kanye, that's wild. Like, to say that, like that, I don't know, that disrespects so many people who struggled through it. So yeah. I take nothing that he says to heart.
Is that it's coming from a place that I call home. And I think it has a different meaning to me now. I think World War II, Hitler, Nazi, everything that goes into this, you guys, has a whole different meaning for me since I live in Germany and since I've talked about this before, the education that goes behind trying to teach that this is something that is horrible, to see the active measures being taken by, I would say, Germans in general, the government too, we can throw in there, but Germans in general, and how serious of a topic this is for them. I think I take it a little bit more personal now, because when I first came to Germany, and this might be
She said, I also take it a little more personal now because I consider Germany my second home. It will hurt me just as much if prominent figures in Germany got on major platforms and continually attack the USA's history regarding slavery, segregation, or the genocide of indigenous people.
very good lesson for a whole bunch of people out there that maybe have never gone to Germany, never come to Germany, or are planning on coming to Germany. The Holocaust for me was something that was very distant in the United States. It could be my
I agree
age,
with that.
it could be
I agree
my
with that.
education, it could just be where I came from. Who knows? It was maybe a mixture of all those factors. But coming here, it was something that I only knew from movies. It wasn't something personal, and it wasn't something that was tangible for me. I couldn't go to
Agreed.
a concentration camp. I couldn't go to a museum nearby that had just proof, evidence, documented, how do you say, pieces of history from this time to show me that this happened. I only had books, I only had my teachers, I only had, like I said, movies that usually came from Hollywood that weren't the most informative things out there. And so when I got to Germany, and let's say I went to my first concentration camp, I don't think it hit me then yet, the magnitude of how important it was, but I think slowly 3 years in, I would say 2 to 3 years in, and like visiting places and trying my best to get an understanding of things, I started just realizing how important this is to not even just Germany, but all of the people and places that were impacted by this, and just the world. It was one of the darkest histories darkest parts or pieces of our history, of our modern history, ever in the world.
Big
and
time.
Seeing things up close and personal,
time.
it made me realize many, many years ago that this is not something that is a joke. It's not something that should be used as a shock value grab. It's not something that should be used as a meme. It's not something that someone should use to get their 15 minutes of fame. There are things and times, let's say, or events that have happened that people use to maybe crack jokes. And I just feel like maybe this one, especially since I'm here, and I understand a little bit more about the history and everything that happened, I just feel like this is one of those events, one of those times, and one of those things that is not something that a person needs to use to garnish followers, views, clicks, or anything like that.
And I completely agree with everything that she's saying, because it was a time where, like, it's sickening to think that these kind of things were happening to other human beings, and the fact that anyone would make a meme about it or make a joke about it, it's just like not right, because it's almost kind of disrespecting everything that happened in that time, and everything that happened to all those people who suffered, who died. It's disrespecting the memory of them, and like to deny that it ever happened is just completely ridiculous, completely disrespectful. I completely agree with her on this. This event is just not something to try to get 15 minutes of fame on.
Followers, views, clicks, or anything like that. And so over the years on my channel, I've progressively talked about how there is an increase or an influx of the far right, alt-right, I don't know what you want to call it, movement or group or extremism in the United States. What started many years ago, I've had different videos sprinkled on my channel throughout the years and months. I will link them up below or up above or down below if you guys want to check them out. Some of them are a little ditzy. I'm a very different person than I was back then. Sometimes I want to delete these videos, but it's always nice for me to go back and see how I've changed and how I've grown as an individual, so they stay up. But you will see me talking about how, you know, the United States, what we can learn from Germany, what's wrong about the United States. And the problems that I talked about back then that I thought were so bad have now manifested into things that are extremely worse. In my opinion, for some people this might not be a big deal, but for me this is a horrible time to be alive right now. It is so very disrespectful, and I think that's the bold, italicized, underlined, emphasized word here. It is just disrespectful, and I don't understand how we as people, like as Americans, don't see this. And like I said, I know that everyone does not, like they like to point out, it's not all Americans that think like this. It's only a certain group of Americans. But the issue, and this is also what I've been talking about on my channel, is that this group, it used to be a small group of people, and
it said maybe it wasn't a small group, but it was never given so much attention as it is given today. People feel more empowered to go out and say hateful things about other people, other nations, other religions, other ideologies, and the list goes on. That's facts. That's complete facts.
Channel is that
they are feeling more comfortable to say these things,
and it has slowly gotten worse over the years. It's gotten bigger, it's gotten louder, it's been given a platform, and I'm just like, when are we as Americans gonna stand up and like vocally say, the people that are against this, say that we don't like this, we don't want this, this is not okay? Because just sitting back and saying, yeah, I don't agree with that, but not vocally saying something loud and condemning this behavior, that's the only way that we are going to make a change. And going back to what I was saying about the Hollywood and glamorization of this all, I do think that there, when you're looking at entertainment that is put out by the United States and Germany, or I would say even Europe as a whole, regarding World War II, the United States has amazing movies. I do have to say there are some. There are a lot, actually. But there are also, in the same flip of the coin, a lot of movies that poke jokes, that make fun of, that maybe downplay, or that are not educational, not informative, or just plain out inaccurate about this time. And so there are a lot of Americans out there that only know the Americanized version of the Holocaust, of World War II, of Nazis, of Hitler, and they don't know the harsh reality of it. Not to say that Germany, and like I said, Europe as a whole, does not have funny, joking, just stuff out there. They do. And I also think when we're looking at the scales of trying to balance everything, it's very balanced here, with a more heavy influence on being informative and being educational and having like the dark, harsh truth being fed to you here. And there's a phenomenon that always happens in the United States that I've pointed out before, and it's that we tend to point out the darkest and saddest time, moment in a country or person's history and focus on that. And we make that into a personality or a persona of that person or that country or that nation, and that sticks with them. So for Germany, it has been Nazis, and we haven't grown from that view. Granted, if you're educated in the United States, if you've traveled and you've been to Germany, you have friends or family members that are German, you probably know that this isn't the correct persona. But there are hundreds and thousands of millions of Americans out there that still have this idea because they know no better. And so we're always sitting there.
I would say, I feel like because of my age, like she said in the beginning, I felt like more distant from it. Like, to where, as what she said, we only really seen what's in the movies. We only had some books. Like, we're not like taught the deep, dark history of everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? But before I started YouTube, I never really thought about any other countries outside of the U.S. Like, I've never thought about any continent. I never thought about all the countries in Europe or anything that's happening over there. But like she said, I feel like there are a large group of Americans who do like, take jabs or poke fun at certain dark times in a country's history. And I agree that it's completely wrong. It's 100% wrong.
Of this idea because they know no better. And so we're always sitting there looking over a fence with a hose, telling the people that their grass, our neighbors, that their grass is dead, it's dying, they need to water it, they needed to do something about that, while behind us we got the damn Sahara Desert with weeds, tumbleweeds, and a dead carcass from an animal that hasn't been fed for 5 weeks, that we haven't been taking care of ourselves. We're always focusing on other people's shit and bringing
That's America in a nutshell.
down. We are just the biggest
Always
bullies
it's somebody
out there.
else's business.
And it's getting to be exhausting. Why do we as Americans have to have this persona of being the damn bully? Why can't we just be the nice, kind Americans that I know, generally speaking, umbrella term, that we are? And for the people that say that it's not all of Americans, like I stated earlier in the video, that is very much so true. It's just views, opinions, and words, and you're entitled to that. But at the end of the day, in Germany, there was also a man that was very persistent, that was a horrendous, disgusting individual with very extreme views, that was able to gain a following, that was able to lead his country into the ground while simultaneously committing one of the worst genocides in history. Certain words, freedoms, and expressions, they need to be shunned. They don't need to be given a platform. They don't even need to be given the air to be said in any public situation. And I'm sorry if you find that to be harsh. You say what you want behind closed doors, but stop saying it to hurt other people, or stop saying things that hurt other people just because it is your freedom of, I don't know, speech, expression, opinion. Screw you. I'm tired of prominent people in the United States stoking the flames of extremism and allowing people like you, me, whoever's watching this as an American, allowing us to divide ourselves even more as a nation, and to push us into a place where I don't think people understand that it's not going to be a good place, and it hasn't been a good place. I am tired of us insulting people. It's just so disrespectful, and it's such a mark, like this really black mark on our society as Americans, that we are allowing this to happen. And as always, we just need to do better. If you have directly, indirectly been impacted by this in your life, I am sorry that the United States is making a mockery of your history, of your past, or in your family's life, and in your country's life, and I'm just hoping that in the future we can do better. I hope Germany, Europe as a whole, it doesn't have to be public. I hope there are calls being made. The president is apologizing for our dumb-ass citizens, our dumb-ass previous leaders, rulers of the free world. I hope he's apologizing for this and making an active effort that this stuff stops, because it's not going to help anyone. And if we don't quit effing around, history is slowly going to start repeating itself in the United States, because we don't know how to take shit seriously. And so yeah, with all that being said, I'm going now. I love y'all. Thank you for watching, and bye.
Oh yeah, she definitely was letting America have it. She definitely was letting America have it. No, big time. But seriously, what she said is completely true. I know it is a lot of Americans love to be in everybody else's business. No, they love to be. I've always been stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. What you eat don't make me ish. Like, know what I'm saying? That's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are very opinionated on so many things that they really don't know anything about. And I feel like they have to let their opinions be heard. And I felt like when Trump came to power, a lot of people started feeling more empowered to say a lot of bold things. Like a lot of bold things. And I felt like that was a time when people were saying a lot of stuff, but that's all we got for this one. I completely agree. I don't know why you would want to say anything to hurt someone else, to offend someone else, like purposely, and try to bring someone else down. Every country has their history. Every country has a history of bad that they've done in the past. No one's excluded. But that's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal. Out.